Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day 10 of our 12 Days of Copilot. We're so excited to introduce you to Erin Kelly today and talk about CRM and all things sales. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we do that, I want to remind you that this week's Charity Spotlight is something near and dear to the Stonebridge family's heart. It's the Mike Gass Memorial Scholarship. So for everyone in attendance, we are donating $5 to this amazing charity that helps kids at Moorhead High School in Minnesota up north in their career of business or technology. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And without any further hesitation, I am thrilled to have Erin Kelly join our stage live today. She is the director of our client growth team, a person that I've been working closely with at Stonebridge, and I'm really excited for you to hear her share all things that she has to say about CRM. So, Erin, welcome to the stage. Let's go ahead and get started.
Thanks so much, Tracy. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started we're going to do this twas the night before the sales call. Twas the night before the sales call, and all through my mail, the clutter was endless, a true paper trail. My pipeline was messy, my notes out of sync. I needed a hero. What do you think? So today I'm Erin Kelly, and we're going to go through and talk about Dynamic CRM Copilot, but not only just Copilot, but also talk through the agents as well. We all know that feeling of emails piling up and research taking hours and pressure to personalize every pitch. So today we'll show Copilot and the sales agents, which are new, how we can go ahead and turn that chaos into clarity. Sales teams today need more than just data. We need those intelligent tools to help us work smarter, not harder. That's where Copilot comes in. We've designed these sales agents to transform how we research, engage, and how we close those deals. There's a couple of different agents that we have in the system. We're going to talk specifically about research agent, but there is sales qualification agent out there that quickly evaluates leads and opportunities by analyzing the data and suggesting what we have for next, how do we close? That leads us to our closing agent, which really is those actionable recommendations for how do we accelerate a deal to close, what are the risks that we have, and some competitor insights. And then we have sales development agent, which is generating those personalized messages, call scripting for any business development teams, as well as those follow-up sequences that work with the sales analytics tools. And next, prospects are stirring, their needs hard to find. My CRM had data, but not all aligned. I needed insights, a summary so clear to craft the right message and bring them good cheer. So what we're looking at here is, let me scroll to the next, the sales research agent. So this is used by sales managers and can be used by sales individuals to go through and look at not just account summaries and deal insights, but really looking at the health of the pipeline, our team performances, and the managers can ask questions like which deals do we have that are at risk this quarter? So taking all of that information. The other piece that I really love, and we'll talk a little bit more about this, is that we can bring in data from multiple different places. So using data from Dynamics, from Dataverse, even Excel and PDFs. So I think with that, let's go ahead and take a look. And here we go into my sales agent. Oh, there we go. All right, then out of my dashboard arose such a sight. Copilot appeared like a star in the night. It searched through my data with incredible speed, uncovering insights for every need. Prospects and data all neatly aligned. Sales research agent. Oh, how divine. I love that Copilot helps write these things. It's hilarious. But when we're managing our pipeline, speed and clarity really are everything. Sellers need to know what opportunities to prioritize, what actions to take, and how to uncover insights without wasting time. So the Sales Copilot agent really helps us turn that complex data into actionable intelligence. So we look at it as kind of our personal assistant. And so it's not necessarily a superhero that wears a cape, but it does have some magical powers, which we'll take a look at. So we have a pipeline exploration and then sales operations. And when we look at our pipeline operations, we're going to go in depth in that. I also wanted to give a little bit of a highlight. There are suggested topics here as well. So once you have sales agent in and you tell it what data that you're looking for, it can go ahead and bring up these suggested topics. You can also just use your regular prompting, and you can even add data here as well. What I've done is I've actually pinned a couple of workspaces. And this is one of my favorite things. I'm going to go ahead and go into one of the workspaces that I have pinned for our pipeline exploration. And I'm just going to go ahead and center that. When you do your pipeline every month, those things, you're looking for the same type of information. And I don't want to have to rerun or relook at all the same information. So I've pinned this. And what I can do, I'm going to go ahead and drill in a little bit here. As you see up here, I have this refresh button. So I can go ahead and refresh this when I'm starting to do some of my analysis on my monthly sales calls. So here I'm looking at the top 20 deals. What's great is that it gives me and surfaces all of that up in easy to read format. And it also gives me this great side panel here of the synopsis, so that I can start to see and read about, okay, wait, what is this? Deals span multiple forecast categories, the pipeline, best case, committed. How do I know where my deals are? I also have the ability to dig a little deeper. So in these, I can actually, in my individual sections, I can dig deeper, or I can start to add some queries as I go through. So my next query may be, hey, wait, explain or examine the distribution of those opportunities across the entire pipeline. Where do I have risks? So identifying risks in my pipeline here as well. So this is a great opportunity to not only start with, hey, just give me that overview, and now I'm going to go ahead and start to explore and analyze a little bit further. So here I can start to see bottlenecks. It will tell me things like, hey, out of this, you have 155 total opportunities, 146 are open, which means that I closed 9 of them. 8 of the 9 were won, so that's an 89%. If you look down here, indicators of a strong, I have 89% close rate. But these are starting to look at what is that data? What is my trending data? And again, one of the best things is that we can bring in data not just from Dynamic CE. I don't know about anybody else out there, but there's rumors that other people are using Excel spreadsheets. No matter how wonderful Dynamics is with all of that sales information, sometimes data still gets stored in Excel spreadsheets. I won't name names, but that is where I can start to bring that in. Can you imagine having all of that spreadsheet data as well as your Dynamic CE data? Maybe it's going to be F&O data that you're bringing in. Maybe it's LinkedIn. Maybe it's Teams information. So information that we're tracking in Teams, I want to know, how does that impact my pipeline? So being able to bring in all of that information into one spot where then I can start to do some analysis of it, not just bringing in the data, but really looking at what does it mean? What does that trend look like? I can also start to look at how do we investigate a little bit more of like close possibilities. So another question I may ask, what is the difference between close probabilities on my opportunity and maybe the date that they're closing? I also have a lot of clients that will track 2 different probabilities. One is a system generated probability. One may be a probability that is set by the salesperson. Are they the same? Are they aligned? Who's more on target? Are some people overly optimistic on their sales pipeline? And how does that relate to some of the close dates? So let's go ahead and take a look at another workspace that I have that's more on our sales operations. So what's nice is that since I have multiple workspaces saved, I can go ahead and take a look at all of these are my pinned workspaces. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my closed date and missing data, my workspace here. So I've asked the question here, how many deals are past their due date? So keep in mind when we start to ask the questions, they're natural language questions. So they're not going to be anything that's super techy. I don't have to go in and add in, all of these queries. It's just really, I want to know how many deals are past their due date. Very simple. My analysis can show me I have 130 deals past their close date. This is going to need a lot of cleanup in this one as well, but I can see where they are by month, and I can see where they are by maybe probability of close. So I can see that out of those 130 that are overdue, a majority of them have a low probability of close. So if I have a low probability of close, why do I have a close date? So those are the types of analysis questions that we can start to look at and really look at some of the trending models for our individual sales processes and individual salespeople as well. All right, I do want to touch just real briefly on we still have all of the great Copilot components that we have in CE as well. This sales agent right here is just one of the agents that are available. There's lots of other agents available, and we always have our sales Copilot here as well. So just we can pop that sales Copilot open. We can start to look at, what's new with my sales records? What are the updates? So this from an individual salesperson, I can start to see what have I been assigned? Where are those? And that's all right within the same piece that I'm looking at. Here's my sales research agent. Now I can drill down into, as an individual, where can I start to analyze my pipeline? What do I have on my new sales records? Or what do I want to find out about my accounts? What do I want to look at? What's a specific opportunity here as well? And then I can go ahead and start to prepare for those sales meetings as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop back over into our PowerPoint here and just say, 'twas the end of the quarter, the pipeline looked tight, but Copilot appeared like a star in the night. It gathered my data with speed and with care. Insights and summaries were suddenly there. No more long hours of searching in vain. Sales research agent has eased the strain. So sellers rejoice and managers too, with forecasts and actions all clear to their view. Deals moved along with precision and grace. Sales Copilot put its success in place. Now scaling is simple and the future looks bright. So happy selling to all, and to all a good night.
Oh, Erin, I love how you finish that up, and I love how you speak about our CRM and just like how to use all these Copilot features that are integrated. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was a lot of fun. It's fun to have
So-
Copilot write some of these things, and I'm like, oh, it's so cheesy, but it's so good.
Oh, right. I know one of the big questions that was in the chat was data cleanup, and it wasn't even just a question, but like everybody wants more data cleanup. And I think we can use Copilot to, do a lot of data cleanup in addition to this as well. So It's fun to dive in.
Yep, absolutely. There's a lot that one is just even looking at what do I have that's not clean, right? So sometimes it's even just finding that information and then looking at how can I rapidly clean all of this data up. So it's a great combination of using those analytics tools to find that information and then using some of the built-in CE tools so that kind of marrying better together.
That's great. I love it. Well, thank you so much again for coming on. Let's go ahead and wrap up today with today's gift giveaway. So thanks again for joining us. Today's gift giveaway is the Aurora Buffalo Heated Gloves 2.0. And I must say, as a hockey mom, I love anything in this brand and anything that's heated when I go to the hockey rink. So great choice, Stone Ridge, for that gift, right? And the
Awesome.
winner is Alan Oakland. So, Alan, we will get in contact with you to make sure you get these heated gloves in time for the holidays. Thank you so much again. And up next is tomorrow's day 11. We are talking automation in action. We wanted to spend a whole session just talking about automation because when we talk about agents, we know that's what you're thinking about. Let's automate things. So looking forward to tomorrow, 15-minute session right at noon Central. Thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks all.